Sometimes, the people we help the most are the ones who hurt us the deepest. This is the story of a woman who gave everything, love, money, and her heart, only to be cast aside by the very family she tried to save. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Black Inside 2.0 for more real stories that touch the soul. In the heart of the city stood a tall glass building with golden lights reflecting against the evening sky. Apartment 23B wasn't just another luxury space, it was a dream that took years to build, one rent payment at a time. Inside, Maya lived quietly with her husband, Daniel, and his mother, Gloria. Maya had a calm strength about her. She wasn't the type to brag or argue. She spoke softly, worked hard, and smiled even when life pressed her down. What nobody knew, not even Daniel, was that she was the one secretly paying the $4,800 rent every month. Daniel had lost his job nearly 8 months ago, and Gloria, his mother, had moved in, temporarily, to help out. But her idea of helping was different from what Maya imagined. Gloria treated the apartment as if it were her own kingdom, and Maya was just an unwanted guest. Every morning, Maya would leave early for work. She was a financial analyst at a private firm downtown. Her salary wasn't extravagant, but she managed. She had a savings plan, a careful budget, and a dream to one day own her own place where no one could tell her she didn't belong. Meanwhile, Gloria spent her mornings critiquing Maya's every move. "The curtains are too plain," she would say. "A real woman keeps her home vibrant." Or, "You don't cook like Daniel's ex." She knew how to take care of a man. Maya would simply smile and nod. She had learned long ago that some battles weren't worth fighting. One evening, after a long day at work, Maya came home to find the living room filled with shopping bags. Gloria had gone on another spree, designer handbags, shoes, and kitchenware they didn't need. Daniel sat on the couch scrolling his phone. Maya placed her bag down gently. "Did we buy all this?" Gloria didn't look up. "We? Oh no, dear, I did." Daniel said we could use the credit card. Maya's chest tightened. That credit card, her card, was nearly maxed out. But she bit her tongue. "Right," she said quietly, turning toward the kitchen. Later that night, while washing the dishes alone, she stared out the window. The city lights blurred through her tears. She whispered to herself, "Maybe silence isn't strength. Maybe it's just survival." Days passed, then weeks. The tension grew like a storm cloud ready to break. Gloria began calling Maya, the tenant. It started as a joke, but soon it wasn't funny. "She acts like she owns this place," Gloria told Daniel one morning. "But she doesn't pay for anything. She's lucky you're kind enough to keep her around." Daniel didn't defend his wife. He just sighed and said, "Mom, please don't start." But silence, in its own way, is agreement. That evening, while Maya was preparing dinner, Gloria walked in, holding an envelope. "You know, Maya," she began with that familiar tone, "I think it's time we reconsider this living arrangement." Maya frowned. "What do you mean?" "I mean," Gloria said, placing the envelope on the counter, "you don't seem happy here. Maybe it's best if you find another place to stay. You can start fresh." Maya froze. Her hands trembled. "You're asking me to leave." "Not asking," Gloria replied. "I'm telling you, this home is for family." Family, the word sliced through her like glass. Daniel walked in mid-conversation. "What's going on?" "Nothing." Gloria smiled. "I'm just helping your wife make the right choice. She's not comfortable here." Maya looked at her husband, desperate for support, for truth, for anything, but he just looked away. That silence said it all. That night, Maya didn't sleep. She sat by the window, staring at the city lights again, the same lights she once thought symbolized hope. Now they just looked cold. At dawn, she packed a single suitcase. No tears, no anger, just quiet resolve. When Daniel woke up, she was already dressed. "I'll leave today," she said softly. "Maya, don't be dramatic," he replied. "You can stay a few more days until you find something." She smiled faintly. "It's okay, I already have somewhere to go." But she didn't. Not really. At the leasing office downstairs, Maya spoke to the manager, Mr. Thompson. He had known her since the day she signed the lease, under her own name, though no one else knew. "Leaving so soon?" he asked gently. She nodded. "Yes, but I'd like to transfer the lease to Daniel's name. If that's possible." He frowned. "I'm sorry, but Daniel doesn't qualify financially. The rent was always paid through your account." Maya's eyes softened. "I know. Just let them find out when the next bill comes." And with that, she walked away. 2 weeks later, the first rent notice arrived, unpaid. Gloria was furious. She stormed into the leasing office demanding answers. There must be a mistake. My son lives there. He's the tenant. Mr. Thompson checked the records calmly. I'm afraid the payments have always been made by Mrs. Maya Collins. She was the leaseholder. The color drained from Gloria's face. What did you just say? Maya Collins, he repeated. She's been paying the $4,800 rent since last year. In full, on time. Gloria staggered back. For the first time, she understood. Every luxury she flaunted, every meal, every comfort, every corner of that glass-walled apartment, was funded by the woman she had cast out. Back upstairs, Daniel sat at the dining table surrounded by unopened bills. His mother entered, pale and shaken. Daniel, we made a terrible mistake, she whispered. He looked up. What are you talking about? The rent, the apartment, everything. Maya was paying for it. All of it. Silence fell like a shadow. Daniel's hands trembled. He picked up his phone and scrolled through old messages, the quiet check-ins, the simple, "Did you eat?" texts, the small kindness he had ignored. He called her. No answer. He texted, "Please come home." No reply. He wrote again, "I didn't know." Still nothing. Because sometimes, when love breaks silently, it doesn't echo back. Weeks turned into months. Maya found a small studio apartment on the other side of town. It wasn't grand, just a single window overlooking a noisy street, but it was hers. Every morning she made her coffee, opened her laptop, and watched the sunrise touch the buildings she used to dream of. There was peace in the simplicity. But peace has a price, the ache of what once was. She still wore her wedding ring, not as a symbol of love, but as a reminder of what it costs to stay silent when you should speak. One evening, as she returned from work, she found a letter taped to her door. The handwriting was familiar. It was from Daniel. Maya, it began, I don't expect forgiveness. I just want you to know I finally understand. You gave us everything, and we gave you nothing but pain. I wish I could undo it. I wish I had seen you. I'm sorry. The letter ended without a signature, just a smudge of ink where a tear had fallen. Maya folded it carefully and placed it in her drawer beside her old lease papers. For a moment, she allowed herself to cry, not out of regret, but release. A year later, Maya had built a new life. She'd been promoted, saved enough to travel, and even started writing about her experiences under a pen name. Her words reached thousands, people who had loved too much, stayed too long, and lost themselves trying to please others. In every story she wrote, there was a version of her, quiet, kind, unseen. And in every ending, she found a way to make that woman free. But no matter how far she moved forward, she could never quite erase the memory of that night, the night she walked out of a place she paid for, leaving behind people who never knew her worth. Sometimes, strength isn't loud. Sometimes, it's walking away without slamming the door. In life, we often assume kindness is weakness. We overlook the quiet ones, the ones who carry the weight without complaint, who give without expecting applause. But one day, when they're gone, the silence they leave behind speaks louder than any argument ever could. Maya never returned to that apartment. But her story reminds us all, never take for granted the hands that hold you up in silence. Because one day, when those hands let go, you'll realize just how much they were carrying. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to Black Inside 2.0, where every story reminds us that real strength isn't in what we show, it's in what we survive.